Well, hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Um, we're gonna keep working on this DK machine engine. So, well, last time we did have it running, but well, we know that it's gonna need some work. So, in this video, it's gonna jump around a lot, guys. I'll try to make sense of it when we do the editing, but take the boiler back off. And hey, you guys have been absolutely fantastic when it comes to suggestions for the heating element. So, all right, let me get this back off up here, and we'll get this boiler out of the way, and we're gonna blow this apart. We'll see where we go from there. All right, the boiler's missing. Heating element too. All right. Well, hmm. All right. We still need to make the lever that comes up here, to engage. And well, it's missing. Sorry, guys. But up here is where a valve handle like this should live. This one's missing, and that one's missing. We do have this one. Let's get after it. We'll take this cylinder off. We'll take the engine apart, and we'll see what we've got inside. Maybe we can figure out why this wants to sit there and rock. All right. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off. We're going to take this winch assembly off. And some of you guys wanted to see how that was set up. All right, I'll get you guys pulled in a little bit closer. Well, probably quite a bit closer. We'll take this winch off together and we can all see how it works. So how that, there you go. You guys wanted to see. Internal ring gear. And we have spur gear here. So there you go. That's how it operates, guys. And well, turns nice and free. Push this in and you guys can see here. Pretty simple little winch, but pretty impressive little, I guess, to me, it's an impressive little doodad, big gizmo. So, all right. Well, let me get this engine pulled off of its base. We're going to do the same thing, and then we're going to, we got to take this apart because remember, it works well one way. Let me put it the other way. See how it wants to follow? So, yeah, we've got something we got to deal with in there. It's probably going to be right in here. All right, I'll get you guys pulled back out where we can all see it together. We'll get this off and then we'll get our engine frame off of the base. But there we go. Well, there's that. We do have packing in here. You guys see it? Probably not. There. It's very possible that this packing has just, it's put in its time. So that should be replaced. Looking in here, everything looks pretty good. We do have a little bit of end play, but all right, let me see what I can do about getting our engine mounting loose from our base. Oh, there we go. Well, probably the first time in a long time this has been free of the base. We'll set this over here off to the side. There's our base. And if you guys were wondering what the diameter of this was for this base or heating element, let me grab a tape. All right, well, we're kind of one-handing this, but if we burn an inch, well, there you go. And for depth, well, we're right up, pretty close to 3/4. But, you know, we've got to remember we still have this plate that goes in there too. So I would guess probably 1/2 inch, 5/8. But so there you go. Yeah, it's not very big. 2.5 inches, I would guess, would be maybe 2 5/8. I don't know what that is in, you know, metric measurements, but there you go. So we've got our base apart. All right, we'll set him off to the side. And you know what? This is going to be a project that we need to address. We need to make some knobs. It's going to take some time, but hey, I've got to do something out here in the shop tonight. Let me get things set up. I'll show you what we got. So, when it comes to replicating, you know, this, pretty sure this is a Bakelite, but look how pretty that is. Guys, you can't buy Bakelite. Best thing that I've found to do is go to an antique store, something along them lines, and find something that is already cherry red Bakelite, and then you got to butcher it. So let's try something. I got just a paper towel, and this is a very annoying sound, but it's just denatured alcohol. We're gonna clean that up. What an annoying sound. So yeah, we got quite a bit of crud off of that. We want that clean. All right, we'll set him out of the way, and I'll show you guys what we're gonna come up with next. And yeah, it's gonna take 24 hours to see if this works, fails, or you guys even get to see it. So let me get stuff pulled up here. All right, what we're going to try to do is silicone rubber molding. It's 2 parts, takes it 50-50, and once it's mixed, yeah, then you suspend the part inside the mixture and let it set for 24 hours. So we need to come up with a container that we can easily cut so we can get our part back out. Hopefully I'm not alone. I'm sure that there's several of you, but yeah, we need to empty a soda can. All right, let's go. So just like that, we have the bottom of a soda can, and we need to mix this and that 50-50. It's going to make some gelatinous goo. So we've got this. I'll fill it up to this line. We'll dump each part into there and I'll mix it up. So, guys, once again, I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll figure it out together. I'll get that crud dumped in there and we'll go from there. See you in a second. I didn't want to cheat you guys out of the fun of this. Like I said, we're all going to learn together. So this is one part of it. I don't know which part it is. It's the one that came in the blue container. There isn't much smell to it, but I can just imagine this stuff is, well, yeah, they don't want us to know about it yet. It's kind of like asbestos was, I'm sure. We'll mix up part, well, this is part A. See that? This is part A. We'll mix up the equal amount of this. It's good for you, I'm sure. Dump it in there. All right. Well, I'll stir this stuff up and probably pretty much ruin this rubber mat. All right, well, been stirring this for about 5 minutes, and we do have a uniform color. I don't know what that means. Guys, this is the first time I've ever played with this stuff. It'll either work great or it's going to be a fantastic disaster. Who knows? But we are going to try and replicate this knob. So, man, I really don't want to screw this up. Let me clean this off one more time. And we're going to plunk it in there. So we're down about that deep. And yeah, at least we'll get a mold off of it if everything works right. Get that wiped off one more time. And yeah, we're either going to make something amazing or we're going to, well, at least I'm going to regret it. See what happens. All right. Well, I've done wiped it off. And it's just a clothespin off the clothesline. Well, fellas, I'll see you guys in 24 hours, and I guess we'll both know if this was a good idea or a damn it. All right. See you guys in the morning. All right, guys. Just like promised, it's been 24 hours. Well, 24 hours and 12 minutes. This was what was left of that material. Let's see what happened to this first. Oh, that came out of there. It's kind of sticky, but I think it'll probably do what we wanted it to do. It does seem to release clean. You guys be able to see that, but we might end up with a good way to cast material. See, it is kind of sticky shit though. So we'll see. Maybe it's not 100% cured out yet. It said 24 hours and it needed to be, kept at a room temperature. So I left the heat on in the shop, and it's 72 degrees out here. So that's about perfect room temperature. I don't know. Want to give it a try? All right. Let's see what we got. Seems to be solid in there. I don't know if we should cut a slit in this. I think, yeah, we're going to cut a slit in it. All right. Let me get this. We'll cut a slit in there. Grab a knife. All right. We got just a standard razor blade here. And once again, guys, I've never monkeyed with this stuff. I'm sure there's some of you guys out there that have. If I'm doing this wrong, or if you guys have pointers, tell me, please. This stuff really did set up good. Let's watch over here. And it's pushing this razor knife, this blade out. All right, well, I'll sit here and monkey with this. We'll see what we do. If I ruin it, I guess it will turn into it. Damn it. We'll have to start over. All right, well, I did fight a slit into this, and I can get the knife back down in here, but we're plenty deep enough down to our part. So, see if we can pop this guy out of here. Something's happening. Ooh. I don't know, guys. Ooh. All right. Well, we retained our original knob, and we know that we've got a cavity in here. So, fantastic. Now I'll mix up some of that epoxy. We're going to do our best to match this red. So that way all of our knobs match. I guess I can take it out of our soda can, right? All right, well. Looks like fun. All right, well, we've got our mold out of our soda can, and yeah, this stuff's got a weird feel to it. It feels almost like a rubber fishing lure that's been sitting in the sun too long. And just a cut off bottom of a Solo cup that looks like we chopped it off with a wish.com chop saw. But what we're going to do is we're going to mix some of this epoxy, one part of each. Demold time is, again, tomorrow, guys. So let me get this mixed up. We're probably just going to use the lid. That way we know that we are 50-50. We're not going to need a whole lot because, well, this knob ain't that big. So, yeah, we're going to end up more than what we needed. I'll get it mixed up, and then we've got our dye here. We'll get it all stirred up together. We'll decide on the color, and I'm probably going to sacrifice this so I can make sure that we have it injected in there. And yeah, I will do my best to clean that out when we're done. But let me get busy mixing this up. Okay, well, yeah. Just because. So we have this mixed up. There ain't a whole lot in there, but we don't need a whole lot. These gloves are annoying. I should have found something a little bit louder. Put some of this red dust in here. Sticky shit, guys. All right. I guess it must be sealed underneath. Oh, maybe not. All right. Well, this is annoying, but well, it looks pretty red to me. I kind of feel like Clark Griswold. A little full. A lot of sap. All right. I'll mix this stuff up. We'll see what we end up with for color. I think it's going to be way too bright red, but I guess we'll see, right? Okay, I'll keep stirring. All right, well, I guess we'll see what it turns out like. It looks a whole lot brighter than I wanted it to. It's almost like a fluorescent color. I don't know if adding more of that pigment to it's going to change it or not, but yeah, I don't know if you guys will be able to pick that up. So, well, do we ruin a syringe? I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. Well, it's all in the name of science, right, fellas? I guess. All right. Well, stick it right here in the hole. And right down the hatch. Gross. All right. Well, I don't know how much of this I'll be able to show you guys, but we'll shove it in there until we see something ooze out. It's going down. And it's coming out. There you go. See it? It's full. What a damn mess. Alright, well, I'll put the rest of this crap in here and bless you. Alright, well, if I can get this apart, get it cleaned up in time, maybe we can salvage that. So, alright, well, we know that we've got it full, more than we need. Let her sit overnight, and once again, I'll see you guys, 24 hours. Alright, guys, well, it's been another 24 hours, and check this out. I was able to clean all that epoxy out of there. So, we'll put that back in this little rack that I made. Save that for the next project. But this stuff here, this dripped out. It did get hard, but the color of this stuff is way off. It's like a fluorescent orange color. And, well, here's our mixing cup. It's definitely hard. We're breaking them clothespins off. But I don't think this is turned out right because we've got a hole there. Peel this tape off. We'll see what's inside of it. We pull it out and it's something that we can work with. Better believe we're going to work with it, but if not, we'll come up with plan B. At least this silicone, I mean, this stuff peels right off. This is a really, really good system if we get it figured out. So, all right. Looks like I'm going to have to do some more fiddling and digging. I'll cut this the rest of the way across. I really didn't want to, but we will. Let me get it cut. Okay, well, I've taken the tape off and cut this open a little bit more. I did rub up against it and appeared to be hardened. Dig this. Oh, I'll be damned, guys. Sorry about bumping that camera. Let me get some better lighting. We'll look at this together. Okay, well, I'm not sure if this lighting's a whole lot better or not, but what I'm trying to do is get this where I can show you guys the finish that we ended up with. It's really, really a nice Can't believe I'm saying this. What a nice knob. No, the color is absolutely not a match. But, guys, I'll tell you what, right there is the proof. I mean, this is. Get in there and focus. Still isn't going to focus. But that is an exact duplicate. Well, the outcome is exactly what we wanted. I mean, we wanted, pretty much a photocopy of that original knob. Right here is our negative. Now, if I can replicate the color, guys, we'll be able to make knobs as many as we want. It'll take 24 hours to do it, but by God, we can do it. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll continue to move forward. I'm not sure. I mean, this is going to be a lot of, in and out of the shop, waiting on things to cure, dry, and go back and forth. But we'll get this figured out. And if I can't get this to turn out to be, a video that is making sense, well, don't worry about it. We've got other things to work on. I might put this off for a week and put this all together. So, all right. So I know you guys are, anxious to see us get this engine put back together, but I'm trying to get these parts, at least done as much as I can do, showing you guys, but still keep the video moving ahead off camera. So, yeah, hopefully you guys can see the color difference. It's red. We've got a great finish, proper shape, but it's not right. So put that one together. You've probably seen it sitting back over in here on that video on that goofy little extremely cheap 3-cycle engine. So what I did to get this was I used that same dye that we got that one out of, but I put some of this molybdenum disulfide in to try and darken it up. Get this tape off here. We'll work that knob out. We'll see what we got. It looks like it's going to be too dark, so we'll see. But, right over here, I have some poppy red colored dye. It's a powder, so I'll mix that up, and then we're going to get back to work on the boiler and the heating element that goes in here. You guys have been extremely helpful in suggesting ideas. So let me stop talking, get busy. We've got our knob out of our mold here. We've got the mold cleaned up. And, well, yeah, that moly disulfide did a great job. Another beautiful reproduction knob. But there you go. Yeah, if we wanted to make one that was brown and looked a whole lot like brown Bakelite, perfect. We're not going for that though. So, yeah, there we go. We do have 3 knobs. All 3 are not the same. And, all right, well, I'll mix some other stuff up and I'll keep trying to completely replicate that. But I guess I'll do that off camera. You guys saw me, do this before. So, all right. So, when it comes to our engine base here, we need a heating element. And, well, nobody makes one. And I thought, well, going with the idea of we've got to come up with something. I'll show you what I grabbed on a recent trip of, well, just finding neat stuff. I found this. Inside of there, let me move this. I'll get it put together. I'll show you what it is. inside that bag, we get this very nice silk wrapped cord. Got a very nice handle laying right here. And then we've got the business end. This is a portable travel iron. So, and I would assume it's probably from the same vintage, maybe a little bit older, maybe not as old. But you put the handle on, tighten the knob down, and then you've got, you got a little iron. Inside this iron, there's an electric heating element. And, well, it says it's 425 watts. No. What is it? 375 watts. Sorry. So we are a little bit lower than the rating that was on here. But let's open it up. Let's see what's inside of here. Maybe there'll be parts in here we can use. And without a doubt, I know that we're going to use this cord. Even though our prongs for the plug don't line up, I've got a cord here that, well, these do. So we'll be rewiring this to accept that silk cord. We'll keep this guy out of the way. Pull this back inside here. Let's tear it apart. Okay, well, let's see what we've got inside of here. And I'm sorry if there's anybody out there that collects vintage hand travel irons. This is Landers, Frary and Clark from New Britain, Connecticut. And it's in very good shape. Really don't want to tear it apart, but probably be easier to find another one of these than it will be to find a heating element for this engine that we're working on. So, all right, well, my apologies if we ruin it, but we're going to do our best not to do that. So, take this cover off, see what we've got underneath. And guys, if it's something, if this is something that we can't use, or we open it up and we're like, no, this isn't going to work, we're not going to destroy it to try to make it work, because there's no sense in that. We have piles and piles of mica, and there's our heating element. You guys see that? This thing, yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to use this. Dang it. Well, it was a thought. All right, well, shoot. Damn it. All right, we'll come up with another plan. Well, since that's not going to work, we're going to have to, try something else. But I need you guys to vouch for me. I was out here in the shop with you all night. I didn't go anywhere else. So when I come home with all this glitter and sparkly on me, you know where I was at. I wasn't anywhere else. All right, well, I guess we can clean this boiler up. I'm not going to polish it. But, well, I'm not going to polish through this nickel. But I am going to get it cleaned up. And that leads me to another question, and I'd like to hear what you guys have to think. We do have quite a few areas of paint loss, on the engine itself, as well as on the base of our winch. I haven't tried to clean any of the residue and staining off of it yet, but I guess this will give you guys time to let me know what you think. Should we see if we can paint match all this, or just clean it up and leave it wearing its its overhauls and go from there? But all right, well, what I'm going to use to clean this up is I'm going to try that Mother's aluminum polish and see what we can do. Just we'll make a little spot right here. I'll see what I can do about cleaning that up. We'll see how that goes, and once again, I'm going to mix up some more epoxy and try to go somewhere in between these two, from brown to, fluorescent red. We'll get somewhere in the middle, try and find that color. All right, well, I spent, I don't know, just a couple minutes cleaning that up. See if you guys can see a difference. And that was just a rag polishing that up. So it looks a whole lot better than that, but it still shows its age. So once again, let me know what you guys think about, the engine over here and this winch, whether we should. I really don't want to, because, you guys have heard this said more times than hell everybody wants to. They're only original once. And granted, it's not going to be original because we're making knobs for it. But, all right, I'll wait to hear what you guys think. But I'm going to get busy on this engine here and figure out why it wants to run one way more so than the other. And I think a lot of that has to do with this packing material that's back here. I think we were losing out of that. So I guess, yeah, I'll start in on that next and we'll see what we can come up with. Go from there. So I'll try to keep this moving, but what we're going to do here is this thing's all going to be blown back apart and degreased and, cleaned. But we're going to open this up, and, well, now that we've got our casting, our mold for this, we can put this back together, and we do have nice, easy motion in here. And, well, I'll take this back apart and show you. We got this little post right here, and that post hits on the sides. That's what limits our travel, forward and reverse. So we know that we're good to go there. I don't see a whole lot of wear on this ceiling face between our reverser and our block. I think what was happening is, well, just by me moving this, this is in two pieces. So I think our packing material had failed. And, well, what holds this tight is this jam nut here. Well, with that jam nut in there, and if it's binding on the packing, we turn it one way, we're tightening it up. But when it goes the other way, it's going to loosen so it can sit here and flop. So we'll get all that cleaned up. We're going to try putting O-ring in there, and we'll see what happens. But, yeah, that's kind of the plan of attack on that. Our face here looks really good. I mean, obviously we don't have an amazing amount of wear, and that all feels good inside. I mean, it was running. It's not, leaking past. So I think we'll be okay. If we need to, we'll take the cylinder apart. But for right now, we're going to leave this little fella just the way it is, okay? We'll get him back in here and we'll set it on, the long stroke section. There. And then our engine is essentially back together. Go through the O-rings and see what we've got. If we need to, I do have graphite packing material. We may just go that route, and then we know it's back the way it was. See what we got for options. Okay, well, first thought is we have this. This is that HBNR, and it has a higher mechanical property to it. And since this has to move, but we still want it to seal, we'll try this first. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, guys, this is all trial and error. And we're going to find out which way's best. And if need be, absolutely, we can always go back with, standard graphite packing. So I'll get this ran down on there. And this is, well, it acts as a lock nut. So you don't want it to, you want it to stay moving with the shaft versus binding against that packing material, which I think is what was happening. I think. Could be completely wrong, but I guess we won't know until we find out, right? So get that tightened up. We'll see what we've got. We will run this again, and we can run it without it being on, well, our boiler base over here. So let me get this guy tightened up. We have this tightened up, and yeah, it seems like it works just fine, but we won't know 100% yet. We'll have to get all this tightened down and see what we've got. So we'll get our washer put back on and get our nut that's going to hold our cylinder up against this reverser. Okay, I think it's going to be all right, guys. Let me get that line that we bent up before. We'll put that guy up here, and well, nothing else. We're going to run it, and we'll see if that works. If not, the whole thing's got to come back apart again anyway, so it's not a big deal. I mean, it'll be fine. Let me get that piece of copper line. So here we are. We've got that, and yeah, it's going to look silly, but like I said, guys, this is for trial purposes. And once again, the Tijuana socket set. We'll snug it down on there so we know that we don't have any leaks. And I'll get an airline hooked up. And yeah, you guys get to listen to that annoying little itty bitty compressor. I'm not going to fire the big one up for, I mean, like I said, we're just going to try this guy. So let me get that airline hooked up. All right, well, you guys can see that we have the airline hooked up, and you're ready for this noisy little itty bitty compressor? Here we go. Staying stationary in that position. Running just fine in that direction. Our lever's staying stationary, and so yes, it is that packing. Seems to be operating just fine. I don't know if we're going to leave that in there or not. I guess I'd much rather see it, you know, with the proper packing and material in there. But we know that was the malfunction with this reversing mechanism. So yeah, I think we're good to go on the engine. I'm excited to play with this one, guys. I really am. I think it's going to be fun. I like it, and it's a good running engine. I mean, it's a very simple engine. There's not a whole lot to go wrong with it, but we did have one problem. We know that we addressed that, and there. Okay. Well, I guess we'll move forward on to something else. We know that that's the issue with that. It was this packing here that had failed. So, all right. So I guess with what we've got done tonight, well, in this video, it's been more than one night, but I guess we haven't really made a whole lot of progress, but you guys are able to see what we've gotten done. So, yeah, we've made different knobs. Yay. We've addressed the issue with our reverser here not wanting to function and stay. So that's a win. And we have figured out that, well, we can't use that iron. So I guess it'll be a trip to our local appliance repair store, see what they can come up with. And we'll make an element for it, guys. But we're moving ahead. Not as fast as we want to, but we are moving. So, hey, thanks again, guys. I really do appreciate you watching. I enjoy reading all your comments, and like I said, I do my best to reply to all of them. But thank you all so very much for watching. If you're not subscribed, well, right here. Click there, guys. I'd really appreciate it. You guys are really helping the channel grow, and that makes me happy. So, till next time, guys, I'll see you soon.